This is Kibera. It sits on about 2.5 square kilometers in Kenya's capital, Nairobi. And while it's hard to find clear statistics about Kibera's population, local organizations estimate that well over 400,000 people call this place home, making it Africa's largest urban slum. But there's more to Kibera than that. It has a rich history, diverse cultures, and several young people are making their way through life in this place.
One of the first...
Kibera's story starts with the Nubian community. Long before there were boundaries between African countries, the Nubians were brought to Kenya by the British colonial rulers from current-day Sudan and Egypt as soldiers who helped them fight the First and Second World Wars.
It came the time that the British decided to colonize Kenya. They also used the Nubians as soldiers.
Afterwards, the British government allowed the Nubians to settle in what was then a forest area called Kibera. That area is now prime land, right in the heart of the capital. And through the years, as the country moved from colonial rule to independence, more communities have moved to Kibera, swelling the population. Tiny houses sit closely together, barely letting in light. There aren't enough sanitation facilities, while access to clean water and other affordable services is limited. And as unemployment continues to soar, alcohol abuse and crime have become everyday realities.
We have a lot of social problems just because of unemployment, or I may just say economic pressure.
Most of the youth turn into entrepreneurship in order to earn a living, but the earnings aren't enough to meet their needs. It's tough.
But there are also several efforts to improve the quality of life of residents. Non-governmental organizations are providing clean water, sanitation facilities, and social services.
You can't tell me if we all find work that our lives will remain the same. Obviously, our lives will improve and our housing will improve. We'll move forward.
And through the years, political leaders have initiated slum upgrading projects aimed at moving residents from temporary shelters. The demand for affordable housing, however, outstrips the supply, and there's another shadow looming large over the area. To date, the question of the ownership of land in Kibera continues to be a contentious one. After Kenya's independence, the government claimed parts of Kibera. Plots were sold off to middlemen who built and rented out little units. In 2017, following years of struggle, the government gave the Nubian community a title deed, but only for 288 of the 4,000 acres they claimed.
The government has given us land, not on empty space. It is actually occupied space. So that is another challenge altogether, because when we will think development, we'll think planning. There has to be something to do with the other non-Nubian communities.
The scramble for land has left many tenants here in a precarious situation. They worry that they'll be left behind or kicked out when change happens.
We don't have any other thing than this land which we have now. And this one is, if very well planned, I think it can change our lives.
In Kibera, change happens slowly. Each day, hundreds of change agents join local residents in efforts to address the problems that stare at them. Each tin-roofed shack represents a family with hopes, expectations, ambitions, disappointments, and resolve. Their struggle has given birth to innovation, creativity, and a robust hustle culture. This residents' hope can carry them through the next chapter of change in Kibera, this time for the better. CGTN, Kenya.